They say one person's trash is another's treasure. But what if I told you that in those forgotten corners of thrift bins lie the seeds of gardens that haven't dreamed themselves into being yet? What if the most beautiful spaces aren't born from catalogs, but from the gentle art of seeing magic where others see clutter? Sometimes the most profound beauty grows not from what we buy new, but from what we rescue, restore, and reimagine with our own weathered hands. Welcome back to Golden Seniors Living, dear friends. This is our sanctuary where gardens grow slower, wiser, and deeper, just like we do, where every project whispers stories of patience, and every creation carries the gentle marks of hands that have learned that beauty isn't about perfection, it's about love made visible. Today we're wandering through 25 gentle inspirations, 25 ways to transform forgotten treasures from Goodwill Outlet bins into garden magic that money simply cannot buy. These aren't instructions to follow, they're invitations to dream. We'll discover how a forgotten coffee mug becomes a fairy garden, how old sweaters embrace planters like warm hugs, and how even broken things can bloom again. Before we begin this journey together, I want you to know every time you subscribe to Golden Seniors Living, you're not just joining a channel, you're nurturing a dream, watering a community where stories grow alongside gardens. Your support helps keep these gentle inspirations flowing, like streams that feed the forest. Let's get creative. Project 1. Forgotten Teacups. There's something achingly beautiful about a forgotten teacup, isn't there? Each chip tells a story of conversations shared, of hands that once wrapped around its warmth. Look at this delicate bone china cup, its gold rim worn thin by countless sips of comfort, its handle shaped by fingers that knew the weight of both sorrow and joy. Watch as we breathe new purpose into these porcelain memories. A ceramic drill bit moves slowly, carefully. We're not breaking, we're opening doorways for roots to whisper through. See how the drainage holes become tiny windows to possibility. Layer by layer, small pebbles like scattered pearls, rich soil dark as morning coffee, and finally tender herb seedlings finding their new home. Start with your gentlest drill bit. Ceramic and porcelain are patient but fragile. A few small pebbles prevent soggy roots, and potting soil mixed with a whisper of sand gives herbs the drainage they crave. Thyme cascades like green lace, parsley stands proud like tiny forests, and oregano spills over edges like nature's own embroidery. Sometimes the most beautiful gardens aren't planted in grand spaces, but in the quiet vessels that once held our daily rituals of comfort. These cups have held warmth before, now they hold life itself, growing new memories one leaf at a time. Project 2. Old sweaters. Sweaters carry the memory of every embrace they've given. When their threads grow loose and their warmth fades, why not let them warm something else entirely? This cable knit cardigan, see how the wool has softened to the touch of clouds. It once wrapped shoulders on autumn evenings, and now it can wrap terracotta pots with the same gentle protection. Watch as we transform sleeves into planters' winter coats. The cable knit creates perfect texture. Each twist and turn of the pattern becomes landscape for the eye to wander. As we stretch the wool over clay, it embraces the pot like an old friend's hug. The natural fibers will weather beautifully, developing patina and character with each season's rain and sun. Choose sleeves that fit snugly but not tight. Wool needs room to breathe and felt naturally. Leave the original cuffs intact for that finished edge that whispers intention, not accident. For drainage, the wool won't interfere. Water finds its way through natural fibers, and the slight elevation from the fabric creates perfect air circulation underneath. Even when we outgrow the things that once comforted us, they can still offer comfort to new life, new growth. These sweaters continue their purpose, not warming bodies anymore, but warming hearts with their humble beauty. Project 3. Broken china. They say broken things are worthless, but I've learned that sometimes it's in the breaking that the most beautiful patterns reveal themselves. Look at these fragments. This blue willow plate that once graced Sunday dinners, this rose-patterned cup that knew morning coffee rituals. Each break creates new edges, new possibilities for light to dance through. Watch as chaos becomes symphony. Each fragment finds its destined place, the deep blue from Grandma's serving platter creating rivers through cream-colored ceramic shores. The gold rim of a forgotten teacup becomes the sun in our mosaic sky. We're not just placing pieces, we're conducting an orchestra of memory and beauty, letting intuition guide each placement. Use a simple concrete mix, 1 part cement to 3 parts sand, with just enough water to hold it together like wet sand at the beach. Press each piece firmly but gently, leaving space for grout lines that will cradle each fragment. Work in sections, let patterns emerge organically. Forced symmetry never feels as genuine as patterns that grow from the heart. Like our own hearts, sometimes the most stunning beauty emerges not despite our cracks, but because of them. These stepping stones will carry feet toward gardens, toward growth, each step a reminder that broken can become beautiful. Project 4. Old colanders. Who decided that kitchen tools must stay in kitchens? This old colander has spent years draining pasta. Now let it cradle something that will never need draining at all. The existing holes become perfect pockets for tiny succulents, each opening a window into a miniature world. Coconut fiber, some sphagnum moss, and succulents that love to peek through spaces they were never meant to fill. Sometimes our purpose isn't what we were designed for, but what love reimagines us to become. Project 5. Vintage boots. These boots have walked miles, we'll never know, through seasons we'll never see. Now they can stand still and let beauty walk toward them instead. The leather has aged to perfection, soft browns and worn edges that no new planter could ever replicate. A few drainage holes, some gravel and plants that appreciate the boot's personality. Wild herbs seem perfect, don't they? The things that carry us through life's journeys deserve to witness new journeys beginning. Project 6. Broken mirrors. They say broken mirrors bring bad luck. But watch what happens when we give those fragments a new purpose in the garden. Each reflection catches a different angle of sky, creating a dance of light that changes with every hour. Sand the edges smooth, embed them securely, place them where morning light will find them first. Sometimes our shattered pieces, when repositioned with love, can reflect more beauty than we ever did whole. Project 7. Old denim. This denim has softened with every wash, every wear. Now it can cradle plants with the same gentle strength it once offered us. The faded blue becomes a perfect backdrop for green. Like sky embracing earth, use the strongest seams, add grommets for hanging, line with plastic for protection. Durability meets tenderness. The fabric of our lives, when reimagined, can still support new growth, new dreams. Project 8. Glass jars, mason jars, pickle jars, jam jars. Each one once held sustenance. Now they can hold light instead. Solar lights nestled in the lid. Wire wrapped like jewelry around the glass. Function becomes art. Solar stake lights fit perfectly. Craft wire adds character. And battery life extends into magical evenings. The vessels that once nourished our bodies can now nourish our spirits with gentle light. Project 9. Old picture frames. These frames once held memories. Now they can hold living art that changes with the seasons. Wire mesh becomes the canvas, moss the paint, herbs the living artwork that grows more beautiful with time. Hardware cloth, coconut fiber, herbs that enjoy vertical living. Time cascades like green waterfalls. Sometimes the most beautiful pictures aren't captured in a moment, but grown over time. Project 10. Ceramic bowls. Water has always found its way to the broken places, healing them with its presence. Each bowl becomes a tiny pond, water lilies in the larger one, floating candles in the smaller. Seal any cracks with aquarium-safe sealant. Choose plants that thrive in still water. Even our broken places can become sanctuaries for life, for peace, for reflection. Project 11. Wicker baskets. Wicker weaves stories of craftsmanship, of hands that knew patience. These baskets have held treasures. Now they can hold growing treasures. Kokedama. The Japanese art of moss balls finds new homes in these woven cradles. Mix clay soil and peat moss. Wrap roots in moss. Secure with thread. Ancient technique. Timeless beauty. The art of holding beauty gently is perhaps the most precious skill we can cultivate. Project 12. Tin cans. These cans once held provisions for families, sustenance for daily life. Why not let them sustain growing life now? Stacked and secured, they become a tower where herbs climb toward the sun. Basil at the bottom, oregano reaching higher. Sand rough edges, drill drainage holes, secure with wooden stakes, vertical gardening made simple. Sometimes growing up requires us to lift each other, to create towers of mutual support. Project 13. Old suitcase. This suitcase has traveled roads we'll never see, carried dreams to destinations unknown. Now it can carry dreams of a different kind. The bottom becomes a propagation station. The lid holds tools and seeds, everything a traveling gardener needs. Line with plastic, add casters for mobility, organize with small containers, portable paradise. The best journeys aren't always to distant places, but to the growing spaces within our own hearts. Project 14. Fabric scraps. Every fabric scrap holds the ghost of something beautiful. A dress that danced, a quilt that comforted, sewn into pockets and mounted on fencing. They become a tapestry where living art grows. Choose weather-resistant fabrics. Line with landscape fabric. Select plants that cascade gracefully. The patches of our past, when woven together with intention, create the most beautiful tapestries. Project 15. Plastic containers. Plastic gets a bad reputation, but when we give it a second life, it can nurture first life. A simple wick system turns any container into a self-caring planter. Roots drink as they need. Cotton string wicks, water reservoir below, growing medium above. Engineering made simple. Sometimes the best care we can give is creating systems that allow growth to happen naturally. Project 16. Wire cooling racks. These racks once cooled fresh-baked love. Now they can display living art that never needs cooling. Each square becomes a frame for a tiny succulent masterpiece. Living pixels in a green mosaic. Sphagnum moss, small succulents, gentle misting, create living art that changes with seasons. Art isn't always painted. Sometimes it's planted and grows more beautiful with time. Project 17. Old books. These books once held stories. Now they can hold the beginning of new stories. Growing stories. Pages carefully removed, revealing secret chambers perfect for air plants that read light instead of words. Waterproof with sealant. Choose plants that need minimal soil. Create knowledge that grows. Sometimes the most beautiful stories aren't read, but lived, grown one day at a time. Project 18. Ceramic tiles. Broken tiles from kitchen renovations, bathroom updates, fragments of homes that once were, laid in sand like puzzle pieces, finding their perfect places, creating paths that lead to wonder. Level sand base. Irregular patterns feel most natural. Seal with polymeric sand. Every path is made of individual steps, individual choices, to keep moving toward beauty. Project 19. Shower curtains. Shower curtains know how to handle water, how to protect while still letting light through. Bent over hoops, they become protective domes for tender plants. Greenhouses made from bathroom cast-offs. PVC hoops. Binder clips for attachment. Ventilation holes for airflow. Protection with purpose. Sometimes growth requires protection. Gentle shelter while we find our strength. Project 20. Coffee filters. Coffee filters have always been about beginnings. The beginning of each day. The first sip of possibility. Look at how simple they are. How unassuming. Yet they hold the power to transform bitter grounds into morning comfort. Now they can hold another kind of transformation. The miracle of seed becoming garden. Watch as we fold these humble circles into tiny vessels of hope. Each filter becomes a biodegradable cradle. Strong enough to hold soil and dreams, gentle enough to dissolve when roots are ready to reach beyond their first home. The brown paper darkens as we add moisture, like earth awakening after rain. Form them while slightly damp. The paper holds its shape better with a whisper of moisture. Press gently into muffin tins to maintain their cup shape while you work. Fill with seed starting mix, not heavy potting soil. Seedlings need light. Fluffy beginnings. When transplanting time comes, plant the entire filter. It becomes food for the soil as roots grow through. The best beginnings often come in humble packages, dissolving away to let growth take center stage. These filters teach us about selfless service, holding what needs holding, then stepping aside when no longer needed. Project 21. Vintage lampshades. These lampshades once diffused light in living rooms, bedrooms, quiet corners where stories were read and dreams were born. Now they can create magic of a different kind. Outdoor sanctuaries, where fireflies and fairy lights dance together. A light coating of fabric protector lets them weather gentle rains while maintaining their vintage charm. Battery-operated fairy lights, threaded through the frame, create constellations that rival the night sky. Hung from shepherd's hooks or tree branches, they become glowing jellyfish, floating through garden spaces. Choose lampshades with interesting shapes. Drum shades create classic elegance, while bell shapes add whimsy. Waterproof spray protects without changing texture. Solar string lights eliminate the need for outlets, and timer settings let them glow automatically at dusk. Light has always gathered us together, around fires, under lamps, beneath stars. These repurposed shades continue that ancient tradition, creating pools of warmth in the vast darkness. Project 22. Old bicycle wheels. Every bicycle wheel has rolled toward adventure, carried dreams down unknown paths. When the bicycle can roll no more, the wheels can still support something growing toward the sky. Mounted against fences or posts, the spokes become nature's scaffolding. Garden wire woven between creates a web perfect for morning glories to climb, for sweet peas to spiral upward. Each spoke becomes a ladder rung for dreams reaching toward sunlight. Secure wheels firmly to posts or fence panels. The weight of growing vines requires solid anchoring. Galvanized wire won't rust, and loose weaving allows plants to find their own paths. Plant climbing varieties at the base, clematis, jasmine, or simple runner beans that feed both body and soul. The circles that once carried us forward now lift growing things upward, from horizontal motion to vertical hope, from transportation to transformation. Project 23. Worn-out jeans. These jeans have bent and stretched with every garden season, every weeding session, every moment spent on hands and knees, coaxing life from soil. Their retirement doesn't mean uselessness. It means evolution. The back pockets become perfect homes for hand pruners and plant markers. The front pockets cradle packets of seeds, like treasured letters. A rope threaded through the belt loops creates an adjustable hanger that moves wherever garden work calls. Choose jeans with the most pockets. Cargo styles work beautifully. Reinforce stress points with decorative patches that add character. Add grommet holes for drainage if you'll store damp tools. Hang from shepherd's hooks, fence posts, or shed walls. Portability meets practicality. The clothes that helped us work the earth can continue serving the earth, holding the tools that help us nurture what we love. Project 24. Mismatched socks. Every drawer holds them. The lonely socks whose partners vanished in some mysterious laundry vortex. But solitude doesn't mean uselessness, especially when tender plant roots need gentle protection. Cotton and wool socks become soft armor for delicate root systems during transplanting. The sock material breathes while protecting, prevents shock while allowing growth. For tree saplings, athletic socks stretch to accommodate root balls while keeping moisture balanced. Natural fibers work best. Cotton for smaller plants, wool for winter protection. Ankle socks perfect for seedlings. Tube socks ideal for larger transplants. Make small cuts for drainage, but maintain coverage for protection. They'll decompose naturally as roots outgrow them. Sometimes our purpose isn't found in matching pairs, but in standing alone, strong enough to protect something more vulnerable than ourselves. Project 25. Vintage cheese graters. These graters have grated cheese for countless family meals, their rough surfaces worn smooth by countless ingredients. Now those same holes that once let cheese fall through can let light shine through, creating patterns that dance across garden walls. Battery-operated candles nestled inside transform each grater into a constellation maker. The varying hole sizes create different sized light spots, some sharp as stars, others soft as moonbeams, hung at different heights. They create layers of light that shift with evening breezes. Box graters work best. Multiple sides offer different light patterns. Sand any sharp edges smooth for safety. Battery candles eliminate fire risk, while providing consistent glow. Chain or rope handles allow hanging at various heights. Group in odd numbers for most pleasing arrangements. The tools that once brought families together around dinner tables can now bring communities together under garden stars, proving that service to others never truly ends. It just finds new forms. Friends, remember, these aren't blueprints to follow exactly. They're whispers of possibility, seeds of inspiration for your own imagination to tend. Your hands will shape them differently, and that's exactly as it should be. You know, as I look around at all these transformed treasures, I'm reminded that we're not really in the business of making garden decorations. We're in the business of resurrection, breathing new life into forgotten things, finding beauty in the overlooked, creating meaning from the discarded. Every project we've shared today began its life with a different purpose, in a different home, loved by different hands. And now, through gentle reimagining, each piece continues its story in our gardens, in our hearts. At the end of the day, what we build isn't just planters or decorations. We build hope. We build proof that broken things can bloom again, that forgotten things can find new purpose, that love expressed through our patient hands can transform anything. If any part of today's gentle journey spoke to your heart, I'd be honored to hear your story in the comments below. Which treasure will you rescue first? What forgotten thing in your home is waiting for a second chance at beauty? Your words don't just encourage me. They water this entire community we're growing together. Share a photo of your own transformations. Tell us about the memories attached to the items you're giving new life to. Every story you share plants seeds in someone else's imagination. And if you found peace in these slow moments we've shared together, would you consider subscribing to Golden Seniors Living? When you click that subscribe button, you're not just joining a channel, you're joining a family of gentle souls who believe that the most beautiful things in life grow slowly, with patience, with love. Ring that notification bell softly, like wind chimes in a morning breeze, so you'll know when new inspirations are ready to bloom. But only if it brings you joy. Never pressure, only possibility. Until we meet again in our next gentle adventure, remember, in a world that rushes toward the new, you choose to honor the beauty of what already exists. You choose to see treasure where others see trash. You choose to plant hope in forgotten places. And that, dear friends, is perhaps the most beautiful garden of all.